What's the most betrayed you felt by a battle buddy's decision? I found out when my best friend Alex threw me under the bus to save his own career in Afghanistan. Alex and I had been inseparable since basic training. Same hometown in Ohio, joined up together after high school, got stationed together, deployed together. The guy was like a brother to me. We were both specialists, same unit, pulling security at this forward operating base outside Kandahar. Nothing too dangerous, mostly checking IDs and searching vehicles coming through the gate. One night in March, Alex was supposed to take the midnight shift while I covered the early morning patrol. Standard rotation we'd done hundreds of times. But Alex had been drinking with some off-duty guys. Not supposed to happen, but everyone bent the rules sometimes. He stumbled up to the guard post around 11:30, reeking of beer, barely able to stand straight. Dude, you can't work like this, I told him. Go sleep it off. I'll cover your shift. You sure? He slurred. I got it handled. No way. Get some rest. I'll tell the sergeant you felt sick. So I worked his shift and mine. 16 hours straight. No big deal between friends, right? Alex would have done the same for me. 3 days later, a convoy got hit by an IED about 2 miles from our base. Bad one. 4 soldiers wounded, 2 critically. Command started investigating how insurgents knew the route. They pulled security footage from every checkpoint, reviewed radio logs, interviewed everyone who'd been on duty that week. Standard procedure after an attack. That's when they discovered the gap in our shift logs. Someone had failed to properly record vehicle inspections during the midnight watch. The same watch Alex was supposed to work. My sergeant called me into his office. The footage shows you were alone at the gate for several hours that night. Where was your partner? I covered for Alex. Told them he'd been sick, that I'd volunteered for the double shift. Figured it would blow over. We were battle buddies. We protected each other. But the investigation kept digging. Turned out one of those vehicles I'd cleared during Alex's shift might have been carrying intelligence to insurgents. Maybe. They couldn't prove it, but suspicion was enough. Command wanted someone to blame for the security breakdown. 2 choices. The drunk soldier who abandoned his post, or the soldier who lied about it in the investigation. That's when Alex made his decision. Instead of admitting he'd been drinking, he told investigators I'd forced him off duty. Said I'd threatened to report him for something fake unless he let me work alone. Claimed I'd been taking bribes from local contractors and needed privacy to conduct business. Complete lies. But Alex was smooth. Convinced them he'd been trying to protect the base from my corruption. Even provided fake evidence. Photos of me talking to contractors, which was literally part of our job. The worst part? He volunteered to testify against me at the Article 15 hearing. Sat there in dress uniform, looking all professional, spinning this story about how his battle buddy had gone rogue. I got busted down to private, forfeited 2 months' pay, and restricted to base for 60 days. My security clearance got suspended pending further investigation. Alex? He got promoted to sergeant 3 months later for his outstanding integrity and dedication to duty. Command praised him for having the courage to report corruption, even when it involved his closest friend. I finished my deployment doing kitchen duty and inventory checks. Never got my clearance back. When we rotated home, Alex transferred to a different base. Never spoke to me again. But here's the thing about lies in the military. They eventually surface. 6 months after I got back to the States, military investigators discovered the real intelligence leak. Turns out it was a civilian contractor who'd been selling convoy routes to insurgents for 2 years. Had nothing to do with our checkpoint, nothing to do with that night. Alex had destroyed my career over a coincidence and his own cowardice. The Army offered to restore my rank and clearance, but I'd already decided to get out. Some betrayals cut too deep to recover from. Last I heard, Sergeant Alex was still in the service, probably telling people what a dedicated soldier he is, still living with the lie that made his career. I got a letter from him last Christmas. Just said sorry and that he thinks about that night sometimes. I threw it away without reading past the first line.